L27, L31 rational expressions review. Number 1, factor out your denominator. This is already simplified. When you factor out, you have 2n, n minus 3. Factor out 2n, they have that in common. N minus 3 is what's left over. I'm going to rewrite n minus 3 over 2n times n minus 3. These guys are alike. They cancel to give you 1. Your final answer is 1 over 2n. And n cannot be 0. You can't have 0 in your denominator. And n cannot be positive 3. The way you can do that is you can set that equal to 0. Solve. N cannot be 0. That one, n minus 3 is equal to 0. N cannot be 3. So that's how you can find that solution. Number 2. You have a quadratic term. It's a trinomial, same as for your denominator. I'm going to factor out your numerator. Draw 2 sets of parentheses. What are some factors of x squared, x, and x? What are 2 numbers that multiply to give you negative 35 and is going to subtract to give you 2, 5, and 7? 7 will be positive, 5 will be negative because your middle term is positive. Your denominator, factor that as well. Factors of x squared, x, and x. 2 numbers multiplied to give you negative 42 and is going to subtract to give you 1, 7, and 6. Since this one is a positive 1x, 7 will be positive, x will be negative. You got x minus 5 times x plus 7 divided by x plus 7 times x minus 6. Notice these 2 cancels out 1 to 1. So your final answer is x minus 5 over x minus 6. Go back to this part to determine your excluded value. X cannot be negative 7, positive 6. Number 3. Look at the whole problem. Notice you have x in common. Factor out your x. Okay? When you factor out your x, actually x squared, you have x squared plus 3x minus 54. Your denominator, guess what they have in common? An x. When you factor that out, you have x squared minus x minus 30. Okay. You have a quadratic divided by a quadratic. Let's factor those guys out. Bring down your x squared. Factors of x squared is x and x. What 2 numbers multiplied to give you negative 54 and is going to subtract to give you 3. Let me see. If you don't know, come over here and you can do some numbers, okay? How about 2 and 27? 3 and, what's that? 18. Nope. 4, 5, 6, and 9. So 6 and 9. So you're going to have 6 and 9. 9 will be positive, 6 will be negative. Do your denominator as well. Bring down your x. 2 numbers that multiply to give you negative 30 is going to subtract to give you 1. Minus 6 plus 5. Okay? Next part, you're simplifying, you're making it smaller. See how you have x squared here and there's an x? I'm going to cancel out this x. That leaves you with that 1x up there. Okay? These guys will also cancel. And when they cancel, you're left with x times x plus 9 over x plus 5. X cannot be 0. See how you can't have 0? X cannot be 6 and negative 5. Set each one of these equal to 0. Okay? And there you have your solution for number 3. That is simplifying rational expression. Number 4. You're going to simplify each expression as well. This time we are adding, because there's a plus sign, you need to find a common denominator, okay? Draw your line, plus draw your line. This will help you a lot. What is the least common denominator for these two? Take a look at your 6. Multiples of 6 is 6, 12, 18. 2, 4, 6, 8. Do you see how they have 6 in common? The least number is 6. So 6 goes into both. Look at your u. U square. That's the least they have in common. So your LCD is 6u squared. Now, take a look at your first term. You got 6u and you have 6u squared. You want to make that a square. So how are you going to do it? Multiply it times u. What you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator. That leaves you to u. 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3. U squared and u squared, so I'm going to multiply the numerator by 3. So 3 times 5 is 15u. Since they have a common denominator, I can write that as 1. And so you're going to go 2u plus 15u. Okay? Like terms, combine your like terms. What is 2 plus 15? That gives you 17u over 6u squared. And u cannot be 0. Number 5, okay? Common denominator. Put parentheses around it to help you. What is your least common denominator? M minus 4 times m plus 3. Draw your line, plus draw your line. M minus 4 times m plus 3. M minus 4 times m plus 3. Take a look. Look at this first term right here. I need this to be m plus 3. What you do to the denominator, you multiply times the numerator. So you'll have 3m plus 9. Look at this one right here. You're missing an m minus 4. So I need to multiply this one times m minus 4. What you do to the denominator, take care of it in the numerator, just like that, okay? So now you have 4 times m, which is 4m minus 16. Now rewrite it to make it look like 1. m minus 4 times m plus 3. So you have 3m plus 9 plus 4m minus 16. Combine your like terms, and that'll give you 7m minus 7 over m minus 4 times m plus 3. You can leave your answer just like that. Or you can factor out your 7. Here's your or. 7 m minus 1 over m minus 4 times m plus 3. And m cannot be 4 or negative 3. Okay? So you can write your answer either way. I apologize, I ran out of room. All right, next problem. We are going to subtract. Number 6, okay? Common denominator. What is your common denominator? N minus 1 times 5n minus 4. We are going to subtract. So, take a look. You can draw separate lines, or you could do it all at one time. So, I have n minus 1 times 5n minus 4. N minus 1 times 5n minus 4. Okay? Look at this one right here. I need this to look like the new LCD. So what am I missing? 5n minus 4. So I'm going to multiply the 2 times 5n minus 4. So that leaves you 10n minus 8. Look at this one right here. Which one hasn't been accounted for? N minus 1. So I'm going to multiply that one times n minus 1. So you'll have negative 6n squared, okay? Negative times a negative becomes a positive. Keep that in mind. But I'm going to keep it as negative 6 at this moment. Okay? So plus 6. There we go. Negative times a negative. Rewrite them as 1. So you have n minus 1 times 5n minus 4. 10n minus 8 minus 6n squared plus 6. Remember, there's a negative here. Negative times a negative makes that a positive. So, all right, combine your like terms. Let's rewrite it in the highest degree first. So you have negative 6n squared plus 10n, okay, minus 2, all of that over n minus 1 times 5n minus 4. What do these have in common? See if you can factor out some more. I'm going to factor out a negative 2. When I do, I have 3n squared plus 5n, my apologies, that should be a minus n, 5n, okay, plus 1. All of that over n minus 1 times 5n minus 4. All right, now you can kind of see if these guys will factor even more, okay? So what are some of those factors? If you really think about it, there's nothing that goes into that. So your answer can be left like this, or you can factor out that 2. Either one of these are a correct answer. N cannot be 1 or 4 over 5. Okay. So I will take either one of those answers. Number 7. Okay. On number 7, I'm going to factor these one first because that's a quadratic. Factors of x squared is x and x. Two numbers that multiply to give you 4, and it's going to subtract to give you 3. Minus 4 plus 1. Okay? Now this time I'm going to just rewrite it as 1 instead of twice. So, what is your LCD? Well, x minus 4. They both already got x plus 1, so I'm just going to write that one time. So you have x minus 4 times x plus 1. Okay. Take a look. See how you have the same denominator already as the LCD? So just bring that down, x minus 5. And if you want to put parentheses around them, you can. Plus, look at this one. X plus 1 is already there. X minus 4 hasn't been accounted for, so I'm going to multiply this one times x minus 4. So you can distribute. So you have 5x squared minus 20. Okay? Rewrite it with the highest degree first. So 5x squared plus x, negative 5 minus 20 is negative 25. All of that over x minus 4 times x plus 1. Now you can try to factor that if you want to, but you will see how this is as low as it's going to go, so you can leave your answer in that form. And x cannot be 4 nor negative 1, so you can leave your answer like that. All I did from this one compared to the one before is that I just went ahead and skipped to this step right here where I went ahead and combined them instead of writing separately, okay? But it's the same thing. Number 8. We are now going to multiply. And one easy way to multiply is, see that dot right there? That tells you you are multiplying. So you can put all of these together. So you can go ahead and just connect one big fraction. Okay? So just make it one big fraction. So here I go. Here's my line. Look at that very first one. Can you factor that down some more? Yeah. So draw two sets of parentheses. Okay? This right here. What are some factors of x squared? X and x. Two numbers that multiply to give you negative 18, and it's going to subtract to give you 3. 6 and 3. Negative goes with the bigger one. Okay, you're done. That one is already simplified, so I'm just going to bring that down. Notice I have groupings multiplying times each other. Look at this one, already done. Okay, second group, factor that down. What are some factors of x squared? X and x. Two numbers that multiply to give you 48, and it's going to add to give you negative 14. And since they're both negative, both of those are going to be negative. So 6 and 8. Notice one long fraction. You can cancel 1 to 1. Cancel, cancel. So your answer is x plus 3 over x minus 1. X cannot be opposite of negative 1. If I set it equal to 0 is 1. 6 and 8. Take the opposite. Okay? So there's your answer for number 8. Number 9. Whenever you have a division, you're going to take the inverse of that, which is multiplication, and you will flip these two. Okay? So, take a look. Can I factor anything out there? Yeah, 5. So you have x minus 8. So let's go ahead and rewrite this. 2 over 5 times x minus 8. Instead of dividing, I'm going to multiply. Take the reciprocal, x minus 8 over 1. Okay. Just like number 8. You see how that's a multiplication now? I can just make that one long fraction. And that'll help you a lot. Do you guys see anything that cancels out? The 8. 2 and 5 is already reduced. Can't do anything else. So your solution is 2 over 5 times 1 is 5. And x cannot be 8. There's your number 9. I will stop right here, and I'll have a second video for the second part.